Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to week 4 of our sessions. It is a great privilege to be here today as well. So, if you know somebody who is who needs to be here tonight, um, tell them that we're back again, and we're here to talk about back to school. And today we've got some wonderful young men with us that are going to be with us to and give us the insights. So yes, please invite someone, share the link with someone, and just tell them that we're back again. This is week 4. This is actually our final panel session. I can't believe we're on our final panel session. It's been a wonderful, wonderful 4 weeks, and we give glory to God because if it had not been for God, I don't think they would have made it this far. So, if you're watching us from YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, give us a wave, give us a hi, and yes, join us, join the conversation. We're so grateful to be here today, and I just cannot believe this is our last roundup until before we go off to do our prayers. But yeah, just invite someone as usual. I'm gonna invite somebody, um, people to come in. Just gonna let people know that we are live. Please join us. We are live. Please join us. Apologies, the posters came out today late, but glory be to God, we're able to get here today. So please, yeah, join us tonight if you're able to. Send a link to somebody, send a link to a friend, and just tell them that we're here. We're going to have a wonderful conversation today, and we really want to know what you guys think and your comments and what you've done to support your young person as well. So please join us. I could see people joining us on Instagram, and you, as per usual, we only give 5 minutes for people to join in. So send a live to somebody, send a live to a friend, and tell them that yes, Phyllis Hope Ministries, we're live, and we are about to start our session tonight. Right. Okay. So we're going to hit the 5 past mark, and we're going to pray as per usual because we rely on God to help us through this process, and God has been so good to us. So we're gonna pray and we're gonna begin the session. Father in heaven, we thank you for week 1, we thank you for week 2, we thank you for week 3, we thank you for week 4. Oh Father, you have enlightened us in these weeks for us to understand. We thank you for parents that have benefited in this conversation. And tonight, Father, Lord, we commit ourselves to you. Father, Lord, do what only you can do best. Do what only you can give to us. We rely on your spirit that you will speak through us. And Father, Lord, everything we'll do tonight will be to your glory. In the mighty name of Jesus that we have prayed. Amen. 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 So, God bless you all for joining tonight, and I hope you had a restful bank holiday. And I know tonight we're going to have a very, very good conversation, because the reason why I say that is because the previous times that we've been here, we have had parents coming to talk to us. We've had teachers coming to talk to us. We've had professionals coming to talk to us. But tonight we get to hear from the people that are going through it themselves, and they're going to tell us what they what their journey's been like, what's helped them, and most importantly, what they believe students, parents can do, not students, what parents can do to be able to support their children that are going through this season of their lives. So without further ado, I'm going to get my panelists to, introduce themselves, and we will begin the conversation. So, first off, I want you to introduce yourself. Nana, please tell us about yourself, what you're doing at the moment, and yeah, um, tell us a bit about yourself,
Hmm.
Nana.
My name is Nana Seado. By the grace of God, I'm a third year student now at the University of Cambridge, studying a course called Human, Social, and Political Sciences, so pertaining to sociology, politics. I'm currently interning at a consulting company called Corn Ferry. It's been I'm in my last week now, 10 weeks. On a personal note, I love God, I love football, love sports. I also run a personal initiative called the Shiners Project, focused on facilitating the personal development of young men ages 16 to 25, spiritually, mentally, physically. Really helping people live and fulfill their God-given potential and live with purpose. And yeah, that's sort of a bit about me. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nana. Thank you so much. That seems like a lot
Yeah,
for
I
It's
take
a
it
lot.
from
for
me.
you.
I take it from me.
Yeah, thank you, Nana. And I've got a wonderful young man that I'm so privileged to know. He is one of the most humble and kindest men I know.
Wow.
And I've got
Thank you.
here as well, Emmanuel. Please, Emmanuel, can you tell me a bit about yourself and what you do at the moment?
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel Nancy, and I'm a qualified land surveyor now. And then I went through the apprenticeship way, which is you can still do it. And then yeah, I love God and everything, and I love football as well. I love football, and yeah, I'm just taking my life, keep going to see what can I do more about it. Yeah,
You forgot to add that you're a fantastic
but
photographer as well.
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. Yes. 100%. No, I
Um,
am. I am.
Yeah, he's a fantastic photographer and does it for ministry, does it in church as well. So and actively supports, the young people's ministry as well in whatever way he can. I know I'm adding more because I feel like I
And-
know he always try not
yeah,
say
Very
yes,
humble.
yes, yes.
Very humble.
I'm being humble. I'm
he
humble.
is
So
so too humble. But you know what, guys? It's so great to have, yourselves here because, there's so many statistics about young black men.
Mm.
And I'm so privileged to have two young men who are as amazing as yourselves and to come and talk to us. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to have two people that are doing two very different things. From different backgrounds. I know that Emmanuel, you even came from it's from Europe. You
yeah, from
moved from
Italy.
Europe. I'd really love
Yeah,
for you to tell us about that as well, because obviously there's the language barrier too
Mm.
yeah,
that you
yes.
had to also overcome. So I really would love for you to tell us about it. So Emmanuel, I know that you went the apprenticeship way. So I want you to tell us about your journey. How did it start? Probably from when you went to school. What did
Mhm.
you always want to be? And then why did you end up taking the apprenticeship route?
Okay, yeah. So as you said earlier, I was born in Italy, raised in Italy, and I came here 2012, and I came here for like better education, right? So but I went secondary school, and that I think what I did was an options called design technology, and I
Yeah.
was really good at it. But I was like, okay, I need to be somewhere in the construction area because I was really good at it, stuff like that. Then I was like, okay, cool. Um, what after I finished my GCSEs and everything, I took a gap year,
Mm.
and I was working with my uncle, and my uncle came up to me and he had an opportunity with me saying, "Oh, you can try this land surveying for a year, just a year or so. Well, if you don't like it, you can move on.
Mm.
You can try different else." But I did. I tried it. And I did it, and I really liked it. So
Mm.
then I progressed myself. I went college as well, and I did um, construction. What was it called again? A
The
long time ago.
multi-skill,
Say again.
the multi-skill,
No, no multi skill, but it's like a level three construction,
the construction.
excellent diploma. Yeah, that was a long time ago. So through that, and then I end up going to where I work right now, and then over the past a year or two, they
Mm.
put me into an apprenticeship because I'm actually doing a great job, like doing a really good job. So that, oh, well, better way to be
Yeah,
qualified as well. So
yeah,
and I said to myself, I'm do I am I doing this? Is it me, or is it just
yeah,
like God asking me to do this? Because even my parents thought, I'm like, hey, apprenticeship is it's not. I didn't go the uni way, the
yeah,
university way,
yeah,
but it's like a build down to, because you know how as our parents be like, oh yeah, stick to uni, stick to uni, stick to
yeah,
uni kind of thing. But there's always an opportunity to go in a different path, and
yeah,
I found that path, and then throughout, yeah, and I just finished it last year, and then literally I'm a fully land surveyor now, so literally paid
yeah.
salary and everything. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and I keep going to get. I'm looking to go more
Mm.
into the next step is like a chartered surveyor.
Yeah,
So we keep going more, so that I'm in the back of my mind, it's still there. So I'm just making sure it's in God's plan as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
All
yeah.
right, thank you so much. But I want to ask the $1 million question. Did it
Like I
cost
said,
you anything to be on the apprenticeship?
Mm.
no, 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 no,
Absolutely
no,
not. So it
absolutely not.
cost
No.
Emmanuel nothing to be on the
No
apprenticeship.
debt.
And I think
No.
that is one of the things that I really want to bring home as well, as
Mhm,
the options, as we talk about these options to parents, for parents to actually really understand how the dynamics has heavily changed, and what the financial impacts of every decision that we are making will look like for young people. So for Emmanuel coming over here and doing the course, we'll ask him some further questions about what he's touched on a bit about, his parents probably really not understanding, why is my son not going to university, why is he going to do this.
mhm,
And we're going to delve a bit more into it, because there's a lot of real opportunities for us parents to go into in the apprenticeship sector, which is booming so much that we can talk about that. And this is a real example of someone who has done that path and is now got a job, and he's had a job and has qualified with it. So I'll move on to that and come to the traditional, um what we all believe: college, sixth form, and all of that. um so we Nana, can you tell me a bit more, because you went to whatever route that you took, but you are actually in one of the prestigious universities in the country. And I want you to also tell me about your journey so far in there. Not the deep things, but what did you do? Did you go to school? Did you go? And a little bit about how you ended up where you are right now.
Yeah. One thing I'd say is that I've sort of just been someone that's loved studying. So I've always loved English. And I preface my story with this because I'm someone that likes to tell people to focus on what you're strong at and what you love to enjoy, because
Mm.
naturally the grades will come, but your passion and your love for the subjects is what's really important. And I think that's what sort of led me to where I am now. So I went to Branton Secondary School. I live in East London. I live in Newham, and that was like the best school after primary school that I could go to. So with that, I feel like where I lived played a big factor, and also by the grace of God, I was just able to go to that secondary school. It was like any other secondary school. but very focused on academics, like just trying to get the best out of you in whatever subjects you're doing. From that, I was able to really work hard in year 11 and get good GCSEs, which I feel like played an important part into where I am now. So even as these GCSEs are passed, it's definitely a reminder that when it really counts, so the year 10s and the year 11s, please, like, do your best while you can. We can't control the future, but we can take charge of the present. So every little really counts. So yeah, I'm grateful I was able to do well there. Progressed to sixth form, and lucky enough, with the GCSEs I was able to get, I also progressed to Brampton sixth form, which was right next to the secondary school. So you could classify me as an internal. That's what they called us. So as an internal or as a sixth form, it was an amazing sixth form. You're surrounded by so many intelligent people, and now the name of Brampton's getting bigger. You've got people traveling across all of London, all across the UK to get to this school in East London. You would have thought, but we found God, and honestly, it really sculpted where I am now because just the environment, the constant, support that you have from different teachers and their experiences. They had a team specifically designed to help people, to help us get to apply to uni. So our personal statements, our EPQs, all these things that we can talk about in applications to uni, they really helped us and support us with that. And yeah, like it was very vigorous. I'll definitely say that it requires a lot of hard work. You need a very good support system. You need to continue to remember the reason why you're doing this. And when you're at such a young age, you're sort of just here and you don't even know how you got in here, but
Yeah.
you start to understand your why and your purpose the more you work, because you realize that it's you're here for a reason. A lot of people make a lot of sacrifices for you to get there, and the more that you work and the more you're surrounded by so many inspiring and hardworking people, it's hard not to get a little bit of that. I want to put that into yourself. I want to achieve well. So yeah, fast forward, you get to year 13, A level time. Shall I talk a bit about the Cambridge application process?
No, I think we'll come there later.
Yeah.
I've got someone that's asked a question about EPQs.
Oh yeah.
What is EPQs? Someone's asked.
EPQ is it was an essay that our I guess our sixth forms kind of got us to write, and it was something that we could speak about on our personal statement. For example, my EPQ was on borders, the impact of borders and migration. And through doing that, it was something I could just speak about in my personal statement, saying, "Oh, I read this article from my EPQ and I thought it was interesting because it did this, it did that." So it's just something that kind of happens in college, sixth form that you do. It was called EPQ for us. It might be called something else at a different school, but it's just something that you can use to leverage and say that you've done to speak about your personal statement.
Okay. So yeah, so we're trying to make sure we let parents know that we've got Emmanuel who did an apprenticeship,
Yeah,
excelled at it. Now he's a land surveyor. He's got a job and he's gonna go higher. And we've got Nana who's just gone through, you know, his normal school, sixth form, but the choice of sixth form, he's saying helped him quite a bit. So that's something that parents really, as we've been talking about, make sure. And he made a comment from the beginning that work on your child's strengths, and you should be able to get to where you're getting to. And he was able to get through and get to an excellent university as where he is now. So I've got like a few questions for them both that I'm gonna shoot the first set of questions that I wanted to ask them. So I want to ask Nana first.
hmm
What did your parents do that you believe helped you um academically, and probably spiritually, for you? Do you feel now looking back? I think you touched on that. You
yeah,
you believe that there has to be stability from home, and so I really want to understand, because there's a lot of people that have got their GCSEs. They've
yeah.
got, some people have got their A levels, are going to sixth form, they're going to university,
hmm
and there's some people too that have just gotten their um their GCSE results just last week, and they're
Mm.
about to start. What could you say was the support that you relied on from your parents that you feel really from your parents or your family that helped you for you to be able to concentrate on school?
Yeah, I think that all the successes and the glories that we see all come from a stable foundation. I know that, and the behind the scenes, I like to reiterate. So I feel like I've grown up in a very, very loving and supporting household by the grace of God. And it's really helped me to understand that if I just put my best foot forward, it's not even in knowing where you're going, but putting your best foot forward with what you have now, then things will start to pick up and start to accumulate. And when I was younger, I really didn't understand it, but I understood about working hard and putting my best foot forward. Even if I didn't get it, even if I found it very difficult, I had that mentality and that support around me to encourage me that in whatever I'm doing, I have a support system that will help me no matter what. And that's sort of the faith and the sort of, the drive a child in those many predicaments has to have, because when you're so young, it's so hard to see the end result. But when you have a lot of parents that have been through a lot, that have been through hardship, things like revising and doing these things is even like even looking at it like can you not just sit down and read a bit? Like honestly, but that's the same, like those experiences allow you to support your child in a different way, in this way academically, because you've been through hardship, you know what it means to be resilient, you know what it means to be determined through all of your experiences. How can you push that into your child and translate that into revising for exams, staying focused and doing the extra work when other people aren't? So I definitely feel like it's a mentality thing, more so because speaking from my experience, I was never one to pay for tuition. I was never one to that did a lot of external things, but through me having that support system behind me, telling me that if I put my best foot forward, if I really try to gain the knowledge, try to reach out to people, be determined, things will work in your favor because you're working in a way where it can't even not work against you, you know?
Mm,
So I definitely feel like it's a mentality thing, and it takes a lot of love. It takes a lot of love, a lot of support in any way that you can. I feel like any support is amazing support because it means so much in the long run. So I like to. I'm just very grateful to not be able to look at what I did have, which was a supportive family that put their best foot forward no matter what. So I think that's what I'd like to say.
mm. Thank you, thank you. I love that. Any support is great support.
100.
Like, yeah, any support's great support. I love that. Emmanuel, how about yourself? Do you
Yeah,
I think you touched on a bit that your parent didn't really quite even get what
Mm.
you were trying to do. So is
mhm.
there anything else that you believe that your parents still, you know, did that gave you the encouragement to still continue to go the path that you did?
Yeah. I think is communication,
Mm,
communication with them. Because, like for example, if you don't communicate with them about what you want to do, they're always gonna think, oh, they know what's best, if that
mm,
makes sense. But
Mhm.
at the same time, we can hear it that, oh, from their point of view, they kind of know what they're doing because they're older than us. They've been through it, whatever. But at the same time, I think the best I would say is communication. Just have a communication with your parents about it. Like I don't know if you just do like a sat there in the living room, just do a PowerPoint, talk to them about like just tell them, oh, this is that. What? Why you choose that? Why you got you understand? But
Yeah.
even I mentioned, even Nana said about stable connection as well, families and mentality as well is part of it as well. Because if you do have a strong mind to overcome that fear, or if it's that fear or not, to because of your parents, maybe not, then you don't truly find your true potential.
Mm.
mm,
Yeah, and then I think that's the main reason for me, communication.
mm.
If you didn't communicate, then it wouldn't be.
True.
That's
It's
important. Yeah.
So,
And
so
yeah.
what would you say, Emmanuel? I'll come back to you on this one.
Mhm.
What you did go to college, didn't you?
Yeah,
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 you
yeah,
said you
yeah.
went college.
Yeah.
So why? I know college. I know you went to college, and Nana went to sixth form.
Sixth form,
Was
yeah.
it your? What was your? Why did you go to college? Did you feel like college would suit you better, or it had the um the kind of course that you wanted to
The
do,
kind of
or you
course.
just felt
Yeah.
like you were just working to your strengths?
Yeah, I think it suited me better of what
Mm,
the course I want to do,
yeah.
because in terms of, yeah, sixth form A levels, yeah, that's perfect. That's a variety of what you understand in psychology, mathematics, and everything stuff like that. But at the same time, after when you do that, what's the next plan?
Mm,
Because and when I went college, literally the course was like literally there, and then
mm,
I was like, okay, that's straightforward. As in, like,
mm,
I'm not cutting corners, but like, oh, okay, cool, that's the course I want to do.
mm,
How can I improve it? And then
yeah.
you can see there's another level, step another level
mm.
after that, and then I think, yeah, that's the way for me.
What sort of
And
encouragement would you tell parents to do if parents are not sure um of what their kids are doing? What would you say to parents to do? Do you think that they should basically just go with their kids to go to these places, or explore further? Because it looks like, because you initially said that when you finished school, you sat at home for, but you were off for, you took a
a
year
year,
out
yeah, yeah,
before,
yeah.
your uncle, and you're lucky that your uncle introduced you to something that
Hmm.
you would enjoy.
Hmm.
Do
Hmm.
you think that approach worked, was what saved you?
Yeah, I believe that, yes, for me, yes, because even though, yes, I took a gap year, but luckily, I'm gone. My uncle came into and asked me for it, but if there was like a different opportunity,
Mm.
he would have taken it as well. But touch on what you said. What was the question you said about
Was that what helped you to focus, to what saved you to be able to know what you wanted to do? Your
yeah,
uncle
yeah,
supporting
yeah,
you?
yeah, 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 and then how do you say it? Because throughout my way to do this, it was kind of hard a little bit, because, like, oh, I took a as I mentioned, I said I
Yeah,
took a 1 year gap, and then it was like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Mm.
That, um, you can't just stay at home doing nothing, kind of thing. So I'm thinking, oh, but I'm still searching for other jobs or anything like that, just to get that experience. Because
yeah.
I know, for um at the same time, my last I just say my last thing was uni. If that makes
Mm,
sense, it was not my first thing for real. But at the
Mm.
same time, like, if I couldn't get into like an apprenticeship or something, yes, I would have definitely go to the uni stage a little bit. But I think, yeah, just I'm trying to encourage them that, oh, go like go with them at open days, go
mm,
with them with it, show them like what's the course that you want to do, what's the
Mhm.
best thing, and it comes with communication,
yeah.
with with the parents. That's the key, because, yeah.
Thank you so much. I think that, I really love your transparency
Mm.
with the conversation that we're having, because there's a lot of young people there, and there are a lot of pressure, and they really don't know what to do, and they
Hmm.
really don't know what they want to do. And if, for you, God was so good that he brought your uncle that introduced you to something else. And
Mm.
as young as, as the age of 16, unfortunately, in a lot of black homes, the subject of, we don't think wide about what our children can do.
Mm.
or what opportunities are out there. And that's why this conversation, Emmanuel, is so important. I love how you what you're telling us, because trust me, what you're saying will touch a parent and will touch, a guardian or someone, for them to begin to think, you know. And then you keep hammering, you need to communicate with your young person. And it's so important that, because if a child is 16, they can talk. And that's why I'm so grateful that I have you guys here today, not parents, to talk over us. But you guys are the young adults, and you, at the age of 16, you pretty much know what you enjoy. Sometimes you may need some guidance, but that conversation needs to happen. And a lot of families need to, a lot of parents and guardians need to begin to think more beyond, oh, my child is going to go to university. And I'm going to jump into the how big the apprenticeship stage has become now, even in terms of degree apprenticeships,
Mm.
that is happening as well. And so it's so crucial that, as you're saying, your uncle came in and gave you the opportunity to do some work experience, and through that work experience you begin to, channel your path into your career now. And for some parents, they probably just wouldn't do any. They would just think that my child is wayward. They finish GCSEs. They don't know what they want to do. Sometimes taking that break is what your child needs, or the time out is what you and your child needs, to be able to use that time to explore adequately what your child can do or what your child cannot do. So I really hope that parents, you're taking up some notes and thinking, it's not just do your GCSEs, go to sixth form or college, and then go to university. For some people, sometimes it is not like that. It is not like that. And it sometimes actually is okay for us to be able to also take that time out. And I really want parents to think about that. Sometimes it is also okay to take that time out. It's what you do with that time out. For Emmanuel, his uncle introduced him to some work experience. For you, you can probably introduce something for your child that would help them to probably either grow or probably either make up their mind. So that is so good, Emmanuel, and thank you for that. And I'll bring the same question to Nana, and I will ask you, Nana. You know, um, we want to teach our young people how to pursue excellence,
Mm.
and be an ambition, and have ambition without idolizing achievements.
Mm.
We want to teach our children to be so ambitious, and I know that you want to, from the path that you went through. It's such an ambitious um, pathway that you took, and your school and sixth form added to that. How do you think that, parents, or what would you say? What are some of the um, key things that can support a child or a young person for them to be ambitious?
Mm. I think when it comes to ambition, the person needs to be able to feel like they can do anything.
Mm,
I speak of mindset so much because as believers and as Christians, we live a life by faith. We
mm,
live a life where we don't necessarily see things, but we know that they happen and they are true. And if you're able to see your life in that sort of perspective, and someone is able to speak those words of life to you constantly, people will
mm.
think you're delusional, but when you make it happen, they'll believe.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
those are that's the type of environment I've been around sort of my whole life, to the point where now when I speak of it, it's just who I am. People
Mm,
say, "Oh, you're a dreamer, you're ambitious," but this is my reality. Because if I didn't see it before, then how would I be able to materialize the things that I'm doing now? So
mm,
it really just starts with speaking life into people, with what you know your child is good at, with what you know your child is strong at. How can you continue to nurture that? And how can you not even see their weaknesses as weaknesses, but rooms for improvement? For me, maths was never my strong point. Like my siblings will tell you, I'd even get upset if I got questions wrong. But I had to see it as a point of where, okay, it's not where I'm strong at. I'm probably
mm,
stronger at English. Let me focus on that. But let me continue to hone in on how can I get better? How can I
mm,
get better so I don't feel that way anymore? If there's a constant roadblock, I think we as people, we get tired of going through the same things again and again. We look for different avenues. But as a parent, that's where you come in to bring an avenue of support. You come into
Mm,
an avenue of encouragement, to let them know that just because you've hit this roadblock, this isn't the end of the road.
yeah.
There's so many things you're good at, but how can you also be able to improve in this as well? So you can elevate equal that just as much as what you're good at as well. And I think that's what that education kind of calls you to sort of do, because you're gonna do subjects that you might not enjoy and you might be reluctant to do it. But I think if you have that goal in mind and understand that I need to be able to push for this certain amount of time to get to where I want to get to, then for me that was a lot of encouragement and sort of like the driver that I needed to be able to, push through things that I didn't necessarily enjoy as much as other things, but also
Mm,
in it as well. So again, mentality, constant encouragement, and speaking life into your child. It's the little things. Congratulating the small wins. Your child might not be doing well in a particular subject, but they might have improved from the last sort of I don't know, exam or essay. It's all about speaking life and be like, if you can improve that little much, imagine how much time you can put into that essay or exam or revising that you can do even better in. And that prospect of doing better and improving, I think that's something that we need to continue to put a lot more emphasis in. And it's something that I've actually grown to love because, success isn't in just getting like the amazing grade, but it's in making those intricate steps forward every time, every single time. And we have the privilege right now that we're quite young, so we're not going to get things right all the time, but
mm,
so much room to grow. And that room to grow is what should be exciting. You should emphasize that room to grow as very exciting, because from that, yeah, the potential of your child is just limitless. So
mm. All right. I really love some of the points that you have really raised, and it's great points. But I also wanted to ask the question that did your parents, how did your parents encourage you
mm.
um when you didn't feel like you were doing the best? Did they do anything that you felt, I'll bring the same question to you, Manuel. Like,
Yeah.
what did you like? You can tell us if they didn't,
Oh
and
no.
and then also what you feel would have been a good encouragement or something that would have motivated you to stay consistent.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's very difficult as a young person. You go to school and then you really want to do well, and then you don't do so great. I think we talked about, speaking life and helping your child to be ambitious, but
mm.
also how
Support.
do parents keep their children motivated to
Mm,
stay the course and to continue? Because sometimes you just want to throw in the towel and just walk away.
Walk
mm,
away.
mm. I think for me, um, my parents aren't as familiar with like the extracurricular system and the school system, but I've been blessed with a sister and a brother that were quite familiar. So if you're not particularly in that predicament, I'd say networking and connecting and trying to find. So I was gonna talk about this later on, but I think bringing up LinkedIn, being
Mm,
able to connect with your teachers, for example. If your teacher is very knowledgeable about a particular sort of like maybe industry or certain thing, get a mentor or like a family member, someone to like really just guide you one on one
mm,
is so key, I think, and it just gives that extra direction. But for me, my siblings really helped me a lot. I've been blessed with siblings that have sort of gone through this process of academics and getting amazing jobs, even doing masters, and with that, it comes a lot of guidance and a lot of experience. But I think for myself, it you would hear a lot of things on the way to maneuver, but as you're young, you still want to make do your own way to see if it's really for you. And I really think that the thing that sort of encouraged me is the fact that if I don't do anything, I stay stagnant. But if I do something, whether I go backwards or forward, I'm moving. I'm
mm,
making moves in one particular type of way. And stagnation was something that wasn't like it wasn't even like no one was gonna tell me to sit still. Like, no, no, do something. As soon as I got an opportunity to work, they said, no, no, go and work. Go do anything. Like, that's the sort of environment I've grown up in. So whether I'm doing something, like revising or I don't know, applying for a job, like it's that process that you're making progress because you're doing something. And I think that's the whole point. I kind of want to reiterate that doing something is genuinely better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
So and it's after you realize, okay, that was positive or that was negative. But guess what? You've made a move. So now you know what you don't want to do and you won't do that again. And there's
Yeah.
so many more other avenues that you can do and go forward. So like keep moving, like physically, like like school, everything, keep moving. Like we say it a lot, but it's so important.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. I want to ask a question to Emmanuel. I'm
Mm.
gonna come up back on the funding side. So you did an apprenticeship. So I guess
Yeah.
you did college, and it was what, free, right? In the
Yeah. Yeah.
UK, going to college because you're still under 16. So doing
Yeah.
up to level 3 was free, and now
Mm.
you've done your apprenticeship, so that was free. But when you were doing the apprenticeship, was there any sort of like funding or some financial benefits that you gained during your apprenticeship, that if parents, it's good for parents to know about these as well?
Yeah. So you get a salary
Mm,
as well. Um, it's not as much as because you're not I just say a graduate or
yeah.
a proper work person. So you have to start somewhere. So they give you like a salary based on of how many years you've been doing it,
Mm,
and but even yeah. So as I said, there's no debt, nothing like that, and then you just gain. It's two in one. Like
yeah.
you gain experience
Yeah.
while you're actually earning
Again,
Yeah.
some money so that you can all actually save for for your savings whatever you do. And I think that's the mindset. And I think our African parents, they need to understand that we bring in money, so we bring in money a little bit into it, but at the
Yeah.
same time you're actually enjoying it because you're you have experience, way more experience than the
Mm,
other people that are coming from after you finish university. Then now they're looking for also experience, or maybe only had 1 year the foundation year for, I think, is what was that called, or
foundation.
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. And throughout, but you have that foundation year every year. Every year
Mm,
is a progress. Every
Wow.
year is a progress. So but while you're doing it, you get to go to do some seminars, stuff like that, and then come back and do your actual job
mm,
around your. I mean, for example, mine is construction. So you go on site, you learn, you do so much more work, and then you put into practice so
mm.
that you can put that into the studies as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, there's no that's the financial benefit that I had about nothing taken, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a big financial benefit because
Mm,
at the moment within in the UK, it costs them almost about £10,000 to pay for tuition per year. So for although you're not getting student loan, you're not getting bursary, you are getting a salary, and that's what
mhm,
parents
mhm,
should understand, that every person that does an apprenticeship will be getting a salary, and
mhm.
the salary will determine. And I believe apprenticeship starts from the age of 16. Correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Just 16.
What's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
is there a cap that is on there at the moment, or I thought it was up to 25,
Mm,
but I'm not sure,
I'm not too sure as well. I'm
because
not too
I've
sure.
heard that there's
I,
also
the,
masters in apprenticeship now.
yeah, 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 yeah. So I think there's not a cut because I remember one of in
Oh,
my apprenticeship there was one that was like
Quite
nearly
old.
around quite old. And I was like, yeah, I think yeah. So I was like, no, there's no cut. Literally,
Okay. So
just
yeah.
have this was,
So
yeah.
parents, please note, for apprenticeship, if you want your child to go the apprenticeship route, you will not be having access to bursary or student loan, which you need to. Bursary is free, but student loan that you need to pay back, all tuition for your course, that is going to be free. So you don't have to, you wouldn't be owing anybody by the time you're finished with it.
No,
So, Nana,
yeah.
you'll go to uni. Can you tell us a bit about what financial support that's also there for parents who children maybe, when you go to uni, what are the expectation of you, and what sort of financial support is there for young people?
Yeah, I think immediately, because I've sort of like spoken about this before in terms of young people. The main emphasis when it comes to uni applications, don't emphasize the financial burdens on your child. Just let your child focus on their education. Don't even let them worry about any of that. Because when you get the offer, then you can continue to work on that. Because I think now there's a lot more emphasis on getting every single child into uni and feeling like they're able to be at their best. Specifically with Cambridge, there's a few scholarships. Famously, one there's a Stormzy scholarship, which is for like um, black individuals from underprivileged backgrounds, disadvantaged backgrounds, sorry, and communities. And I think in general, there's different schemes and different. I think a lot of companies actually offer a lot of bursary. No, the school offers a bursary, but it's companies that offer like scholarship programs. For
Okay.
example, Bain, and there's something called a True North scholarship program. I searched up, and I think it's for women. It's for women right now, but that's for when you're in your second year of uni. So I think that is more so of a university thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Student finance is something that has really helped me a lot, and also the bursary, which is applicable for everyone, also helped me a lot in terms of uni. But yeah, for parents, there's definitely financial support available, 100%.
Yeah, fantastic. So parents, please check. Besides, obviously, we have the apprenticeship route, which you would not owe anything um once you're done. Um with university, you would have to pay something. But as Nana said, we need to make sure we're exploring. I'm reiterating these things because these are things that we from these backgrounds we don't check.
Mm,
We don't apply for these scholarships, and your child could benefit from it. So please, when your child before your child goes to university, begin to look into it. If your child is in sixth form, begin to start looking at scholarships for different universities. There's so many scholarships that could be available to yourself, to yourself and your child, that you could benefit from. Um so look at it, look at the details, fill the form. If you need help, there's always so many government entities that are willing to support people to fill forms and things like that. Do your research, because if you don't do your research, you're not going to be able to benefit from these scholarships. And that's the thing that Nana was saying, that finances shouldn't be the biggest thing on the list. Every child will thrive in a different setting. One child will do well through an apprenticeship would, but another child will do well going through university and learning the skills and learning all the different areas of being in a university, adapting to those skills of being in a university. And that's what maybe your child will need. Your child needs to go to university, but how would you be able to do what you need to do to reduce the burden, the financial burden, which has become a big conversation for parents now? So I'm so glad Nana has highlighted the scholarships route, and there's so many scholarships. There's so
yeah.
many scholarships around. There's a lot of scholarships around. So please, please, please have a look at it. And there's a lot of scholarships that are for children from underprivileged backgrounds, um, you know, people, all around, for black ethnic minority people as well. There's
Mm,
quite a lot of scholarships around. Please have a look, please read through, and I'm sure some way, somehow you may be able to get something. One thing that benefited me a lot when I was in uni is, the university itself had grants that were given to students, as well. And so if your child is in uni and you believe that you don't have a lot of money in your household, let your child approach their finance office and tell them that they need extra support, and
mm,
they will be able to get these extra support from their universities. And these are the sort of things that we need to be looking at, because sometimes some of these pots of money, they're just sitting there, they're literally just sitting there waiting for people to apply to them. And that is one of that's the main things that we need to be able to do. Tonight we're going to wrap up in the next 10 minutes, because I think that we've really heard a lot from these young people. If you have any questions about how they've navigated their journey to be able to come this far, please, please, please do send a message through, so that they'll be able to answer the question. Nana, can you tell us a bit about, the application process,
Hmm.
um, to be able to get into Cambridge? Is it, was Cambridge the first thing that, or let's say it was going to a university that was like, quite high up in the country, the first thing that, came into your mind? And if it is, how did you how did you end up there?
Yeah. Um, I give a lot of praise to my sixth form because they guided me a lot in this process. Coming from a household where I sort of just put my best foot forward, but I didn't know the ins and outs of the whole, I guess, game. It was
Mm,
very, very helpful to be able to have a sixth one that sort of directed me in how to apply and the best ways to put myself forward, as I kind of
mm,
mentioned. So there's a platform called UCAS. Really, really, I think it's still used now in
yeah.
terms of how students are able to apply for unis, and put their choices in. So you get a choice of 5 options. My options were the University of Warwick, the London School of Economics, University of Cambridge, University of Birmingham, and the University of Nottingham. So I've kind of just was able to go on a list online and just see the best schools for the course I wanted to study. Again, you need to, I think, going on the direction of what you're good at and what you enjoy is really, really important, now as a student. But as you are able to work your way in university, that's when you start thinking about internships and jobs. And I think the apprenticeship route, you're able to obviously do the work then, so you don't
Yeah.
really have to worry about that later on.
Mm,
So I think
yeah.
those are like the pros and the cons of everything. But UCAS is something that you use to basically put your selections forward. And with Cambridge in particular, it's sort of a different system because um, with my course in particular, human, social, and political sciences, I applied and then I had to prepare for an interview.
Mm,
Again, Brampton came in very, very supportive and clutch because they had a whole team that was helping people, in particular, apply for Oxford or Cambridge. So being at that school, I have a lot of prestige, a lot of hardworking students. It was something that was very, I guess, it was encouraged. It was encouraged to
mm,
want to apply for Oxford or Cambridge, and so I was able to pick. And I did. You can only apply for one, so Oxford or Cambridge. So you can do your background on which one you kind of like, what they're offering, their courses. I picked Cambridge at the time. Me and myself are someone that like to work hard, and I felt that if I was applying for universities, I wanted to get the best of the best,
mm,
of what I could get because you only get to pick these options once. So if I can put my best foot forward and do really well, and I have the opportunity to go to the best school in the world, like I'm gonna take it. I don't know much about it yet, but I'm not gonna let this opportunity pass.
yeah.
Again, if I didn't have that, if I had that mindset of doubt growing up, if I had that mindset of not trying to put my best foot forward, these are the steps that would prevent me from,
To
uh,
even apply.
opportunity. So it's a build up. It builds up from a young age. So the younger you do that, it's still going to benefit your child in the long run. Yeah. So I was able to apply, prepare for the interview. So there were questions online. There's a lot of preparation questions that come up, in terms of like the questions they'll ask, the types of things that will happen as well. But also LinkedIn, people have actually reached out to me in year 12s, year 11s, year 13s on LinkedIn asking for advice. Like it shocked me so much because I didn't have this level of intuition back then to
Yeah.
reach out to people who have done the process before.
Mm,
So me that I've gone from even in my last year now, I'm just giving out so much advice, all the
mm,
support and help that these young people need, but they wouldn't be able to get if they didn't reach out and they didn't know the platforms that they needed to be on in order to reach out. So LinkedIn is very, very important. Tell your child to download the LinkedIn. You might not like social media, but LinkedIn is allowed. You can connect with amazing people that have done amazing things, and it's strictly professional. So if you really encourage a child to create that visibility and platform early on, they're able to build their sort of personal brand, and that will enable them to, reach out to people to help them with career prospects, academia, and it's going to benefit them in the long run, being a visible presence at an early age. So yeah, back to the prepare for the interview. Did the interview. It was online. I think things have changed now in terms of like, the personal statement sort of process. I'm not too familiar, but I think it's actually an interview. So
Mm.
again, preparing at home, preparing with people that elders, in terms of like preparing questions, being very comfortable, confident, having a smile on your face, knowing what you're speaking about. Again, I reiterate how it's important to know what you want to study and actually enjoy it, because then you don't feel like it's taxing when someone's explaining you, why do you want to do this. It's just something that comes very easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of like the process. I was able to do that. My journey's a bit, it wasn't just the most straightforward. So I did an interview for a particular college in Cambridge because there's a collegiate system called Sydney Sussex. I wasn't able to get in, but they put me into a reconsideration pool. So again, if you're applying to Oxford or Cambridge and you don't get in the first time, there's still hope. And that's, I reiterate, doing really, really well in your A levels, GCSEs, taking advantage of that, because I was able to do well in my A levels. Again, A star, A in my subjects, and I was able to actually take somebody's place that day of the person that they missed out on their grade, I think. And then I was called by Jesus College to come to their college and go to Cambridge. So again, I speak of hard work and resilience, because if I gave up having that rejection, then I wouldn't be where I am today. And it's that mentality that will set you above other people, because instilling that in your child is what will enable them to go forward. A lot of people like to settle, but if you have that mindset of faith, keeping God close, understanding that you can do all things through Him truly, and having that faith in your child as well, then again, the results are limitless. So that's sort of my journey there. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I think the few points that I got from there is there's a process, make use of the resource that's around you, get your child to ask questions about people that have really, really done it before at an early stage. You know what? As Nana's saying, he didn't have, the chance to even approach people on LinkedIn. And people as young as what, 16, 17, they're already asking questions.
Wow.
So, make use of LinkedIn, get your child to create that visibility for themselves so that they can be asking the right questions. Because I believe that if you're able to, your child is able to get, that understanding and have that, guidance, they are able to put their best foot forward and be a success in their interview. And the last thing that he said that really impressed me as well is don't give up. If you try the interview, or if your child, wants to go for these big, and if they don't get in, if they don't get an acceptance the first time round, don't give up. They could just work hard, do get the right results, and then they still have the opportunity to get into some of these best universities that are out there, if your child is the university is the route that your child wants to take. Emmanuel, I wanted to also ask you, how was your application process like? How did you apply for it, um, for your apprenticeship?
Yeah. So in terms of mine is a bit different,
Mm.
even with an apprenticeship itself, because I was working in
And the
in the
company already.
industry already. Yeah. So it was kind of like easier to get in
Mm,
it. But the normal way to get an apprenticeship is literally go on the government website, find an apprenticeship of what you want to actually do. There's so many courses that you want to do, and then the next thing you do is just like what I did as well, like an
mhm,
interviews, and then you get and then once you get in, you do your 3 years or 5 year course, um,
Mm.
doing the same thing. But then you have at the end of the day you have another interview and
okay.
an endpoint assessment, which is based on what you learn, like your skills, behavior,
Mm,
and everything that you just learn about it, and then just you know basically writing. It's like an essay,
mm,
really, truly, and or project to
Mm.
on what you work as well.
yeah,
So it's based on what where you worked. So I worked on different projects, so I had to choose one of them and then pull
yeah,
my thoughts on it and everything, just create an essay and everything, and then and at the end of the day, and once you finish that endpoint assessment, that's when you know you like actually graduate and everything. But
mm,
applications is 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 not is it's not easy, but it's not hard at the same time
okay.
because it is you have to have the right the
Skill set,
GCSEs
yeah,
yeah, and the GCSEs as well, because they want that to the academic level as well.
Mm.
It has
okay,
to be a little bit higher, yeah, like an A's or if you did BTEC was distinction merit, yeah, around there. So yeah, it's very different. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so from what I gather, with an apprenticeship, you need to go to the government website and you need to go and look for the apprenticeships. Sometimes as well, for my research, I believe that because she came from a company already, it was easier. You can target certain companies as well, and
Hmm.
they also offer certain apprenticeship, and you can apply to those as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
So if you are able to target those apprenticeships as well, you are able to do that. The NHS, they have a website that's full of apprenticeships.
Hmm.
There's degree apprenticeships, there's master's apprenticeships. So you just need to go on the government website. The main thing is you need to understand what you want to do, know what you want to do. And once you get on there, you need to be able to go through. I believe the entry requirements are you need to have at least GCSEs. I believe was quite a lot of it. And then
Yeah.
sometimes I think probably for degree, you may need to have at least have a level three for a degree as
Hmm.
well. So once you have that, or sometimes it may be even be lower. I don't know exactly the dynamics for all
Yeah.
the different apprenticeship, but the key thing is you need to start from somewhere. You need to do your research with everything that these young men have talked about. You need to do your research, and most importantly, you need to think outside of the box. You need to really think outside of the box. If you don't, you're not going to get there. The amount of spaces that are there at Cambridge, at Oxford, at Warwick, at UCL, all these top universities, the amount of spaces that are there, some young people don't even apply to these universities because they don't think they can get in,
That's it.
Hmm.
but they do so well. They do so well in that their university in their exams that they could have been there, and these are the best, for your courses. So don't underestimate yourself. Emmanuel, if he had not that, he is like a whole land surveyor. That's just so
Hmm.
amazing. And he's been working and he's been making money, and now he's made it. He's got his degree, he's got his course, it's done. He's got the opportunity to even go to the next level. And once he's in a company, the company will probably pay for it again. You know, that's how you build a career. That's how you also build confidence. So parents, we've heard it from the young people. Let's do our best. Tonight, I've learned one thing that I'm taking away with me is to giving my child the visibility early. Um, and it is amazing. Expose your child to the world, expose your child to the possibilities, because if you don't, they would not know which way would be best for them,
Mm.
and they won't be able to pay. My last question to you know yourselves is, I'll start with Emmanuel. I know you love God, you're a Christian as well. How, in your final words, tell us how be, being a Christian also shaped your educational journey, number one. And what would you say to a young person who feels a bit lost and a bit stuck in their education right now? What would you say to them?
No, it's really big impact. It's really big impact for having God in your life. Because if you don't have faith, because the amount of faith I had I was like, oh my god, how am I doing this and
Mm,
all of this? And then which is very good because as a Christian, you need to understand that you need to have faith, and then you need to have yourself integrity, so that just be yourself and be confident in what you do. But you know that God is there, and whatever you do, He's gonna do it.
mm.
Amen. And then yeah, and then literally, what is wow, yeah.
So, what would you say to a young person that's feeling like they're stuck? They don't know what to do.
Um, I would say most importantly, pray about it. Most importantly, pray about it, and read your Bible as well at the same time, or even communicate with if you have a mentor um that knows about Christianity as well, will be good as well. But just yourself, just you know ask God, how can we do this, and to be grateful, to be better.
All right. So, two things: try and find a mentor, talk to someone,
Yeah.
most importantly, talk to God
Yeah.
for direction. Amen. Nana,
Mm-hmm.
same question to yourself. Um, what would you say to a young person who feels that they're very, they want to go high, they want to do this uni thing,
Mm.
they want to go to some of the best universities in the country or some of the best universities in the world? Because now I know people that go to Harvard that get scholarship to go to Harvard. I know people that get scholarship to go to some of the best universities in the world. What would you say to somebody who looks at it and it seems so far away? Because I tell you what, Nana, when I was growing up, going to Oxford or going to Cambridge was so far away.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that Cambridge was just an hour away from London.
You.
Like, Oxford was in, we didn't know, just about an hour, just a little bit over an hour
Yeah.
away
Yeah, a
from
little bit
London.
that way, yeah.
You know, I didn't even know that some of these good UCL, not Birkbeck, it's another one, the science one. All these top universities, some of them are very close to me.
Very close.
Hmm.
Mentally, they were so far away.
That's it.
It
Mm.
felt so far from our reach.
Mm.
We've got people like yourself, that are there. For me, I look at it and it gives hope.
Mm.
So what would you say to a young person who thinks that that level is so far away, number one,
Mm-hmm.
and you being a Christian, how do you think has really impacted your journey? And you actually go to Jesus College too, so
Yeah.
hey. uh,
Yeah, it was meant to be. It was meant to be.
we all didn't know that Jesus College existed, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know if it's our bad reason or, but again, research is important. But the first question, perspective is everything. Um, be it for me, I've grown up in Newham my whole life. Um, I've always been around the same friends, same people, same neighborhood, and that has effects. It had an effect on me that I didn't even realize until I got older, in terms of not even being associated with bad things, but the mindset. You just know everything is just new. In my situation, everything was just my area. I didn't know what things were outside. I didn't know the possibilities and the potential I had, even though it was brimming inside me. And it took for me to actually meet people in sixth form that didn't live in the area, but came with this different type of energy and perspective that
Mm,
it opened my eyes into the type of man I could become. So again, it really took me going outside my comfort zone and taking that leap of faith, going to a new area that I didn't have any background in, being so used to a certain area and growing comfortable even around the people, and actually separating myself and surrounding myself around with people that were who I wanted to become,
mm,
ambitious, inspiring, positive, focus on the right things. This is all uncomfortable at first, and it was very uncomfortable for me. But now that I've embraced it, it's really just my new reality, and it's a blessing to be in. So definitely, just getting out of that mindset and having that perspective again of life, but of the future that you want. Because I think
Mm,
it starts in your mind first before you materialize it. You know,
mm,
if you can even think and imagine it, you're already one step closer to it. You know, so why not work hard and work backwards from that to be able to achieve and attain it? And it's definitely in your grasp, 100%. So it's, again, mentality and perspective and mindset. Because what people don't see, you might see it so clearly because it's in your mind, and you can definitely attain it and achieve it if you can see it. So,
mm,
and second, I think at a place like Cambridge, you hear a lot of things about it, and it's a place where, from my experience, is very difficult to hold on to values such as like your faith and Christianity. But in my perspective, I've grown so much, so much. Like so much is such a blessing. I think it took for me to really get into the word. Like the word is everything. Is our foundation. Is what gives us hope. It's what directs us when we have trouble, are confused. So having that familiarity with the word, and actually me being by myself and actually calling on to God, you know, was so important for me. Not getting that nudge or somebody telling me to do it, but me feeling like even though I've done so well, even though I've gone so far, there's something missing. In Ecclesiastes 3:11, God has put eternity in our hearts. And that eternity is a void that He can only fill. You
mm,
can do so well in everything, but there's a void that God has put in our hearts that He wants to fill. And
mm,
I achieved so much, but still I was like, like something is like something's not going like I don't know where it is. I don't know. But it was me being encouraged by people around me and being in that mindset to be like, wow, this is where I need God. Like I need him like more than anything. And I didn't even know I really needed him until I opened up the Bible, started reading, started making it a habit. And as you go on, I've realized that everything that I've gone through, all my experiences, my successes, even my lows, I can be a
mm,
testament for somebody to see and also do great and amazing things that God has called them to do, and it's that sort of understanding and revelation that I found in myself that God sort of called out of me. Like
mm,
all of these things, I can only give God the glory because even in my family, I didn't choose them, but they blessed me and loved me so much. It's like all these things that I can't even explain, I've been able to go through it. And with this opportunity, it's enabled me through my academics to one out just glorify God, but also through that help as many people as I can. Because I'm in
mm,
this position for a reason. As Pastor Phillips sort of mentioned, that not many people get into these predicaments. And your child could be that person, could be that light to pave the way for not only your family, not only your neighborhood, your whole community. But it all starts in the home. It all starts with how you speak to them, all starts with the mindset. Like honestly, I think all of our lives are a testament of God's glory if we choose for them to be. And by
yeah.
the grace, I was able to make those right decisions to get me to this point. And what's even crazy is that I'm still learning. I don't even feel like I reached the peak. And that's the same mindset I want you guys to have. Like we only keep going because there's so much I feel like God has in store for all of us. And it's the more we understand Him, the more we know ourselves. And yeah, that's sort of what I've got to say. So yeah, I was doing a little sermon.
And we were enjoying it because it's really nice to have young people being able to talk to us about their experiences with God, and telling us the parents that what, that God factor is what's
Yeah,
helped. And Emmanuel said it, if you're feeling lost, go and ask God, ask him to come and help. And Nana's just buttressed and said, look, I couldn't have done it. There's so much that it's in your heart. There's so much that you can do, but there's always going to be a void if you don't have God. So parents, these are young people that have grown up in homes that the parents didn't really know much about education themselves, you know, um, but they've managed to give good grounds to to the young people for them to be able to get to where they are now. So thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much, Nana. I know that you guys are going to both do great things. Um, and the parents, you've picked up something from it. There's so much that these young men have poured out, you know, helping us to understand their journeys. Um, and it's such a privilege for us to be able to have these men like these that are going to grow up to be big men, and they're going to be a blessing as they continue to be to their communities, their family, and most importantly to themselves, that they'll be able to live a successful life. And these are two different, you know, channels that they both going through to be able to curve their, one has already got their career already, none is already in third year uni, and your child can do it as well. We didn't touch on, mental health and things like that, but I think quite a lot of the things that they touched on in terms of stability in your home, being able to show your child love, being able to create an environment, being able to give your child a break when it's needed, you know, these are things that helps the child to thrive. And these are the things that help support the mental state, and most importantly the god factor, for them to be able to get to where they need to get to. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I'm excited for this weekend, because we're going to crown all of this off with a 3-day prayer and fast. Ooh, 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 ooh. A 3-day prayer and fast. And so please make a date with us. We're starting Friday, 8 p.m. sharp. So, we're going to go into a time of prayer. Again, you can join us here on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, and we will be able to go forward and pray. We're fasting. So every day we will have what we're fasting and praying about. And then in the evening at 8 p.m., we will have wonderful, God spirit filled, pastors that are going to be leading us. We've got Reverend Wendy Ade, UK. We've got Lady Selassie Metal from Ghana that's going to be joining. And you've got myself that we're going to be praying with fire on Saturday, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to put out the post right after this session. So please send it to a parent, a guardian, grandparent, godparent, anybody that cares to know. If you're a young person too, send it to yourself and make a date and join us, because we're going to have 3 days of pure fire. And your young people are going to come out of that fire refined as gold, and they will be ready to shine in this next academic year. God bless you all so much, and thank you for sticking with us for 4 whole weeks. We couldn't have done it without your help and your support. I love you all so much, and I shall see you on Friday, 8 p.m. sharp. Don't be late. If you come late, if you snooze, you lose. Don't come late. Join us as we pray. God bless you. Bye bye.